Thank you very much for joining Microsoft Project Crash Course class. So this will be the window in front of us whenever we open an MS Project file. As you can see that it is offering us pre-built project plan templates in front of us as soon as we open a project file. It comes from a software development program or commercial constructions. If you want to create a commercial construction, you just go in there and create a commercial construction. It will start a new project plan with certain amount of activities in here, so we just need to plan the start date and duration, and we can just complete the project plan. And also it will have a software development plan and all together a lot of other software development templates altogether. But since we are discussing a crash course class, so we will be more interested into creating a blank project from a very start to the very end. So straight away going into the blank project, but before that let us quickly discuss about the options that are available in the MS project in the first window. All the information that is in here, the first information is the info. So we'll quickly go through the info first. And since we are creating a new project, in info the very important thing that we need to adjust is the start date of project. Okay, so say suppose our start date of the project is from the 1st of December 2022. So let us quickly create a 1st December chart. So every project that we will be entering will be starting from that particular date. Also we can create a finish date. We can have a we can create a schedule from a, we can fix our finish date, that when our the project is going to complete on, and when the project is actually starting and ending on that date. So these are the very important part. Also we can plan the project from backward. Right now you can see the project is normally planned from the start to end, but we can also plan the project from finish to end. Like say suppose if you are developing a project plan of mobile application launch or any particular particular application, so you definitely have a finish date in front of you, so you can plan the project from a backward point. But normally on a 90% of the cases we used to plan the project from a start point, so we are keeping the start point in here. Current date is definitely the computer date that is you're working on. Status date is very important. We will be discussing on when we will be creating a plan versus actual Gantt chart. It will be very helpful for us. And project calendar is again in coming in the upcoming session. And the priority is in the project. Whenever we creating a multiple kind of a project, we set the priority as per as the need of the project. Again, these are some of the advanced things that we will be discussing in the advanced mode. But upon info mode, the very important thing that we need to make is to adjust the start date, that when the project is actually going to start. So we have quickly inserted our date from the 12th December of 2022 as being the start date of our project, and that's it. And we can straight away create a new project out of that. So going to that part, I am going back to that frame and opening a blank project. So this is the blank project in front of us with the default view of the MS project. So in this particular window, as you can see that we will be having three things that are important to view. The first thing is that the ribbon, it will have some certain options. And the second thing is this tabular form, just like in Excel you have you just see with some particular headers. And the third thing is this dashboard. If you just keep it to slider to right and left with the slider, you can see a table, a graphical representation area, which is known as Gantt chart area, where the Gantt chart will be displayed. So all the information we will be putting in here, this is called the data table, and it will automatically be represented in this view, so that we can adjust and we can check on how the project is going on. Going to the ribbon first, so we will be having some important aspect in the ribbon with the task mode. The first thing first is the task. Under task we will having some font and the schedule, task, insert, all these options we will be discussing when we will be inserting a task in here. And then we will be having a resource view. This table is especially designed for creating a resource plan, that what are the project resources that are working on your project. So again we will be putting the resources in here, and we will be getting some certain kind of reports from this project, like what actually is the project from a beginning point of view, some dashboard, some cost view, and resources overview. And then we will be having a project tab. In project tab, this is very important. Again, we will be discussing how to handle the project from working times, the WPS, the setting baselines, and moving the project to and fro. And then we will be having a view. This view table gives us a multiple views of the project, like resource view, cost view, tracking Gantt chart, plan Gantt chart, so that we can create one single platform and we can discuss multiple views and we can check all the dimensions of our project. And finally, we have a format is just kind of a formatting your font and formatting your Gantt chart mode. So since this is a crash course, so we will be quickly going through the ribbon, and we will be discussing one by one as soon as the need comes in, so that you can create a professional Gantt chart mode automatically. And if going back to the Gantt task mode again, so this is the task mode, and the other important thing in the task mode is that under the task mode you will see a view in here which will have a drop down menu. Right now it is at a Gantt view, which is a default view. If we just open that particular thing, so we will have a built-in views of the Gantt chart. So all information that we used to enter in here is in the Gantt chart, and then once we enter the information here, it will automatically be transformed into these other views, so we can see the other views as well, like a network diagram, resource sheet, and the timeline planner and the tracking sheet. Again, we will definitely will be seeing them once we get into the actual project plan. Thank you. Okay, so straight away we are going to enter our first project plan, like how the initial things will be plotted in here. So before going to enter the project entry, let us quickly discuss about the scheduling mode. So what are the basic scheduling mode? Considering in a task mode, you will be seeing a task in here, and you will be seeing a manual schedule and auto schedule, which is by default a blank in here. So let us quickly add a new task. Say suppose a task 1. So whenever we enter task 1 and selecting this, it automatically gives us the task in manual schedule. Okay, what actually does the manual schedule is this will create a timeline. Say suppose we can add a timeline for the task 1 is 7 days, so we can see that 7 days of the task is already been created, and we can adjust the timeline from that particular. The important thing you notice in here, since we have already been added the start date of our project, but under the manual task the start date is not came here, so we need to put in the date. Maybe I'm putting the 15th of December, so the task date is incoming here, but that is in the manual schedule. If we have an auto scheduling mode, the beauty of auto scheduling mode is that once we enter a task and then we transform into an auto schedule, it automatically takes us the date, and the what date it will automatically fetches the date that we have adjusted in the info mode. Okay, so the tomorrow, like 12 of the 1st of the December, so already been taking the first date here, and then you can always change the date and all together. So once you're creating a lot of tasks, like 100 tasks, 200 tasks, 300 tasks, so it's very important to the base point where you are actually going to start, so that is very important. So the tip is that we always used to make a project with the auto scheduling, so that we get a maximum utilization of project from the auto scheduling. So if we enter another task in here, say suppose entering a task number 2, task number 3, and task number 4, as you can see that is already been manually scheduled. How we used to check that? By entering the task, it will automatically show us the manual schedule pin bar icon. Also in the task mode, as you can see that this will automatically gives us the pin bar. So pin bar and a question mark indicate that these tasks are basically manual scheduled. So let us quickly discuss about the task mode. It only gives us two options, like either the task is auto scheduled or manual scheduled. Okay, and by default it always keep us manual schedule. But the tip for us that if we are creating a complete Microsoft project with the automation, maximum automation, we always used to create all those tasks in auto schedule. So selecting all those tasks and creating an auto schedule. So you can see that now they are coming into the auto schedule. Okay, so why we're doing each and every time transforming the manual schedule to auto schedule, to confront that part, uh, what we need to do is we will be just putting one setting around here with the new task which automatically be entered as auto schedule. So that is very important part. We will be discussing manual schedule ahead once when the assignment comes in, but the major part of our course crash course class and the need of the Microsoft crash course class is the beautification of the Microsoft is always in the auto scheduling. Manual schedule is just like an Excel and creating a Gantt chart in Excel mode. So we are not bothering about manual schedule. We always be entering a new task as auto schedule. So right now I have created a task number 5. Say suppose task number 5, as you press the enter, you will see it automatically be transformed into a auto schedule task, as you can see in here. Alrighty, so these are the first information that we need to enter in a task mode. Okay, so let us quickly go through with the columns available. The columns available, the first column is the ID. Whenever you enter a task, it automatically generates a ID which we cannot change. Definitely it is in the sequencing mode. It takes us to the extreme bottom, and whenever you enter a new task, it automatically fetches a new task just like this, task number 7, task number 8. So it is a identification ID mark of that particular task. The second thing is the indicator mode. Indicator helps us to identify if there's anything important linked with that particular task. It will give us the indicator here. There are a lot of indicator in MS project, like fixed constraint, like resource over allocation. If anything happens with certain particular task, it will indicate in here, so that we should focus our point in here, so that these are the important part I need to look on. Right now you can see there's nothing in the project, so it takes us blank, but definitely as we go on there will be some certain indicators. And then we have a task mode. The task mode is, again, as we have just discussed, gives us the indication of how many tasks are auto scheduled, how many tasks are manual scheduled. Since we are always happy to put every task in auto schedule, you can just go and hide that column if you don't need that. For the method of hiding is just simply the Excel one. Just to keep a right click in here and just keep a hide on, it will take a hide on. If you want to create again, you just need to insert a new task in here and type the task name and task mode. And one important thing is that we cannot create our customized kind of a task in MS project, and neither we can delete any column. Okay, let me repeat again please. We cannot create any particular column by default, meaning yes, we have some certain cushion by means, but we always have to choose all information of the new column from that particular list that is already been available. We cannot change that. Also, we cannot delete any column. The only option that we have is, say suppose I'm entering a baseline finish, so there's a baseline finish, okay, but I cannot delete that. I just can hide that, so that each and everything should be linked in the MS project. That is the reason behind this. Each and every item is basically linked under the programming of MS project, so we cannot delete any task. So straight away we have in here the task mode, and then we have a task names, where we enter a task name, the duration, how many duration they are taking. The duration can be of days, can be of minutes, can be of weeks, can be of months. So we can put multiple kind of duration. Say suppose I'm entering a 1 minute duration, I'm entering a 1 day duration, I'm entering a 1 month, I'm entering a 1 week. So these are the 4 to 5 options that we are already have available with the MS project. And you can see by default, once we enter a new task in here, say suppose a task number 9 in here, so we can see that task number 9 has a question mark in it. The question mark means that by default it has taken a 1 day, but it is indicating us to put something on me, because it gives us option to point out that this particular task does not has been provided duration, so we need to put a duration in here. Maybe it can be a 1 day, so just one will be again be a 1 day, but the question mark will be gone away, so that we can confirm that okay, this task already been there. So this is where we enter our task mode. And then we have a start date. We can always be available to put any particular start date from the duration. So suppose I'm taking this particular task to 16 in here, and we also have a finish date in here. We can put a finish date in here. We will be discussing this when we are handling an actual project, because there are a lot of things that relates to start date and finish date. And then we will be having a predecessor it's also upcoming, and then we have a resource column and a new column. Always we can enter a new column, as just discussed. We can enter a new column, but we cannot delete a new column in here. All right, sir. So we can see that we have just entered a new project, new task number 2, with that is starting from 16. And you can see that as soon as we press a 16 in here, you can see an indicator in Git indicating us 1 point that shows us a constraint that says that the date has been plotted by force in here, so that we cannot change that date. If anything happens to that task, this task will definitely be starting from 16th of December. To explain this further, we will be discussing in the predecessor place. All right, so this is the first view of our Gantt chart by entering the task mode. Okay, let us quickly go through the calendar. because the MS project is working on some certain specific calendar, like 5 days a week or 6 days a week or 7 days a week. So by default, how to create a calendar, we need to go to the project. Another project, we need to go to the change working time, and if you come to the change working time, we can see a new window pops up that gives us a standard calendar. By default, MS Project has three calendars. One is 24 hours, the second one is night shift calendar, third one is standard calendar. By default, it always be on a standard calendar, and we have to be on a standard calendar, which it has a certain advantages we will be having. So here's the legends of the days, and here's the time frame of the working. So you can see the white are working days and the grayish one are non-working days. So by default, calendar means that the computer is already taking 5 days working and 2 days off, with the timelines of 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. and 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. We can always change that. So say suppose we want the Saturday or any particular day off. So what we need to do is we need to go to the work weeks here and going to the details in here, and we just need to select those dates that are working. Say suppose I'm kind of keeping a Friday off as well. So I'm just opening these 4 days and setting the specific timelines for them. As you can see, set days to specific timelines. So I keep the timeline same from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. and 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. So these will be my working days, but now I want as Friday as off day as well. So I'll go to the details again and I go to the Friday and I take this as a non-working time. So pressing that, we will see that the Friday is also going to be a off day. So in this way we can handle our project efficiently, that how the days are basically working. Also you can change your timelines for specific particular days. Say suppose you want to change the timelines of Monday, so you can change just the timelines all in here, whatever be the timelines you would like to. All right, also it have an work weeks, it have an exception also. So suppose some certain days are taken off day, like we are coming on, we are having a holidays, and when the holidays is going to start is basically starting on 25th of December. It's already been a Sunday, so say suppose we are putting the days from 26th to the 5th of January. So these will be our off days. As you can see, that will take as the exception of days. So in this way we can handle the project. And by default you can see these are only the three calendars in here. What if the certain resource of our project is having a particular days, like in project like in company, like a staff, every staff should not go in a single day. So the staff has a privilege leave, so we can plan the privilege in the resource mode. So once we create our resources here, we will be seeing the new calendars will be created for the resource. We will be discussing in the resource mode place. So this is all about the calendar and calendar adjustments and entering the new task, duration, start and finish days. So that is our first part of the video. We'll be coming back in this next part, please. Thank you very much.